Hey guys, it's Rachel. It's Thursday, and you're getting a video from me. I hope you've all had a good week. I'm sorry if I still seem a little bit distracted and kind of far away. My dad's still in the hospital, so this week's kind of not really given me much time to think about anything back and forth. So it's been quite difficult. And I'm kind of not quite myself right now, so I'm sorry if things aren't quite articulate or making much sense, but I did want to make a video and discuss this week's topic because it seems quite relevant to me, and also to where we're at now, sort of coming through January and starting a new year can be incredibly difficult, and it's been incredibly difficult for me. So what we're going to look at is taking a look back or a reflection perhaps on 2013 and how we can use the experiences that we had in 2013 to help us shape this year. Not necessarily make it a better year, because I never kind of hold on to that sort of belief system particularly. I don't see it as a goal to make each year a better year. I think it quite often can just set you up for disappointment, to be quite honest. But it's the same concept of like a new slate starting again, and I just think more often than not that we end up just feeling disappointed with what we've not been able to achieve. So I don't so much want to focus on what we can set up to achieve. What I want to focus on is perhaps me taking, as I always do, some personal experiences from last year and how I have perhaps learnt from them, and how I can help make 2014 an improved version of 2013, and what I'm going to try and learn in this year as I move forward. I turn 33 in May. I don't even know where that time's gone. Turning 30 seemed like yesterday. So for me, last year was very experimental. It was a year where I took a lot of chances and I took a lot of risks. I'm not going to say I took too many risks, because I felt last year like I had nothing to lose. I had a very difficult 2012, and as I started into 2013, I really wanted to just give myself a shot at a number of different experiences. I wanted to just broaden what I was doing with my life. I wanted to do some things that were out of my comfort zone. I went to London. I did an internship at a fashion house. I found it incredibly difficult. I found the work too much. It tested my limits just far too much physically. I wasn't up to the pace of what I was expected to be doing. That in itself helped me understand the limits that my body is at with regards to working. I took some time in New York to really just be with myself. I met all my beautiful friends, but a lot of the time I was traveling about on my own and with my camera, and it gave me a huge amount of independence. It gave me a huge amount of pleasure. It showed me that I can be in different places and mix with different people and live in a way that I'm choosing to live myself. And then as we came through the spring and into the summer, that was really about being in France, wanting that time for myself whilst I was down there. Experimenting with some different relationships, different friendships, learning from what had perhaps been quite painful before that, trying to understand what I wanted from relationships, what I wanted from friendships, what felt important with regards to my family. And that time in France gave me a lot of reflection, and I was able to really continue to pursue my writing. And that was something that I really got into in around June time. Before that, I had been working on a novel, which I haven't looked at since sort of January time when I broke up with my girlfriend. So I want to kind of try to go back over that. That's the bringing into 2014. I've learned that my passion is something I need to follow, and that's my writing. I have learned that I can have more than one project on the go, but that isn't necessarily a manic thing. It's something that I can have things in place that I can pick up and put down, and it doesn't mean that I'm not going to complete them. It means that I'm following what's inside of me, what myself is saying to me to do. And I may have a burst of writing which just doesn't necessarily fit into a particular genre or area, and I've learned that that's okay, that I don't have to just focus on a specific style. My poetry is incredibly mixed. The things that I cover have really opened my eyes, and I feel kind of proud about that. So I'm taking that into 2014. I'm taking that confidence with my writing. I still freak out, I still panic, I still don't feel good enough a lot of the time, but I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to take the fact that I was able to produce a body of work between June and October that I can feel incredibly proud of, in the same way when I did my dissertation, I guess, when I was at university, and have something that's incredibly solid. And I'm kind of dying to tell you guys some things, but I really want to work through them first, and it's something I've promised myself to do. So that has taught me an awful lot. I had an interesting time coming up until the autumn. Learned an awful lot about who my friends are, learned an awful lot about how to manage experiences in a more mature way, which I can hope to carry into this new year. I'm learning it's okay to let go. I'm learning that it's okay to actually be a bitch at times. And, you know, I've really slammed someone recently, but you know what? I don't even feel bad about it. And just saying, you know, it's okay to stand up for myself. It's okay to raise that bar and do something that's in some ways out of character and that people wouldn't expect, but not to be ashamed of that, to actually feel proud of myself for that, which is something that has given me a lot of confidence, because those abandonment fears, those rejection fears, I've slowly just let them go. And last year meant letting go of some people, and I've learned that those people can come back into your life, but I'm in control as to whether I decide to allow them back in. And this year I'm really kind of shrinking down the people who mean the most to me. And from last year, I opened myself up to, for me, a too big a range of people. I get on with people easily. It's not difficult for me to make friends in that sense, because I am very open. I'm very confident meeting new people. I let a lot of people in, but what I'm learning is for this year, I want to just focus on the people who really, really mean everything to me. I don't want to be wrapped up in other drama. I want to focus on the people who've been there for me month after month, year after year, and who have never let me down, and who continue to be the most amazing friends that I could possibly ever ask for. So that's been a learning curve. Going away with my family for a few weeks to the Far East, that really reinforced how much my family mean to me, really reinforced what they can offer me, what they give me, the unconditional love, the non-judgmental stance, a listening ear, a place to turn, a place that will always be safe for me. Spending that time with my brother, realising that even though we're miles apart and rarely see one another because, well, I can't even afford to go down to London this month, but that time with him and from being in a place in, say, 2007 when he first moved to London, and that unbearable feeling when we're separated, to say, but I can carry that with me. And then towards the end of the year, I met up with all my girls in New York, went away with my best friend. And when I came back, it was kind of a weird feeling because I missed everybody, but I was able to carry them with me. And that's something I worked in therapy for so long. So this year I'm going to learn that I might not see somebody for a long period of time. We might not talk as much, but it doesn't mean I've lost them. That's been huge to me. There's been some new people who've come into my life at the end of the year who have taught me I can't even begin to express my gratitude for that. With the light that they've given me, the insight that they've given to me, this feeling of completeness, of knowing I'm not alone, of knowing I can continue to rely on people. And again, the lesson that I learned from last year I want to take into this year is to not expand upon that anymore. I think this year I want to focus on who I know I can believe in and who I know I can trust, and not really have the desire to meet any new friends, not do any of that, and kind of think, well, I've got these people and they offer me so much, they give me so much, that what more do I need? My dad being in hospital since the beginning of the year has given me a new outlook on our relationship, on the fact that how it feels to be in fear of losing him, to know how much he means to me, to feel grateful for that, to feel fortunate enough that he's going to be okay, and to really know who's been there for me through that, and to understand that people are going to hit out at me because of their own insecurities, and it's okay to say fuck off to them and not have any regrets about that, because people always have a choice with how they behave, and people may act impulsively, but a lot of the time people don't. A lot of the time people put a lot of thought into what they're doing, and I've got no time for people like that in my life. I've got no time for people who are going to be inconsistent and who are going to turn their back on me and who are not going to respect the woman that I am today, or understand and know the woman I am today. And I'm going to take into 2014 now that I've got no time for those people, and to really believe the people I've got and the people I've got in my life. If I was a bad person, I wouldn't have those friends. So that's going to continue through, and my confidence from my poetry and such is going to continue. And this year again, I'm going to continue to take risks, but feel more secure in those risks. Last year was kind of like an experimental year. I know that might sound bizarre, but it was kind of like I was dipping my toe in like all sorts of different areas, meeting different people. And I've kind of come into 2014 and I feel like a kind of whole person. And I feel I know who I am and what I want. And that's partly why I'm making these videos. It's part of me. This team is part of me. They are the girls and women who have kept me alive for years and years and years. And I love them to death. And I don't really need anything else. I don't need anything else. Maybe I'd like to be with somebody at some point, be in a relationship. But right now, it's out there, you know, and it's going to find its way. And that's all I can say to you, is to take that reflection, and I've not mentioned anything particularly bad that happened, and look at the positives and how you can learn from them and what you can bring into the new year, because it's your year, guys. Okay, I love you loads, and I will speak to you soon. Okay, bye.